Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Business Hub. If you are like most people, you probably would not be looking forward to a recession. The collapse of an economy can lead to huge job losses and struggles for the working class. While this is a low point for many working people or even the government, it can be a potentially huge opportunity for rich or wealthy individuals. Wealthy people like to figure out newer and smarter ways to continue earning even though the economy is falling apart. The pandemic has led to a new recession, huge unemployment, and a mass scare for many people on how money will be able to pay the bills. Rich people, with their advisors, often know the tips and tricks to make money from the misfortune of others. Let's talk about the 10 ways the rich use a recession to their advantage. Make sure you stay until number 1, as you do not want to miss a very interesting way a recession can help the rich. Number 10. Bailouts from the government. Government bailouts are exactly what they sound like. When a business fails, the government will step in and bail them out. This is something that some businesses will take advantage of, especially during a recession. Some people see this as unfair, because individuals do not get this kind of help. But it is important for the economy to keep these businesses running. The positive side is individuals are benefiting since they can continue to keep their jobs and get paid. Businesses that get bailed out employ thousands of people to work for them. That means they provide many people with jobs, even during a recession. If these employees were to lose their jobs because the business failed, the government will have a messier problem to deal with. Many times, this bailout money is either forgiven altogether or has favorable repayment methods. Number 9. Government contracts. To help the economy recover, governments need people to work. Unemployment can be detrimental to the economy and, in turn, a government. To fix this, governments start infrastructure projects and grant contracts for these projects to businesses. These businesses are owned by wealthy individuals, so these contracts help them to earn even more money. And with this, the wealthy businesses and owners who employ others are also helping working individuals as well as their country's economy. This is not just beneficial to the rich though. The more employees that get hired or keep their jobs, the more that chunk of government money trickles down. This is actually a sound way to help entire economies, because businesses are keeping running while unemployment rates drop. Both the wealthy and the working class folks can benefit from this, and this is how the economy and government can work together to prevent further collapses. Number 8. Purchasing real estate. Real estate is going through the same issue as the big companies are right now. During a recession, people tend to stay on the sidelines and not tie up their money. Everyone is at home, and many people can no longer afford to buy anything that is not necessary. There is also mass panic about when people can return to work. Many are scared that they cannot splurge like they used to, so they hold back on spending. This is where smart people step in and take advantage of the situation. Because there is little demand for real estate, the prices often drop dramatically. This is where wealthy individuals step in and buy up properties at a fraction of their original price. Commercial real estate is currently suffering the most, while the next 18 months will see a huge drop in prices for newly developed residential properties. These developments assumed that once this recession bottoms out and then rebounds, people will be buying more real estate. Many of these properties can be held and used as rentals or Airbnb properties to create monthly cash flow for years to come. Additionally, because of the low prices the properties were bought at, another strategy would be to cash out as soon as the market bounces back. Either strategy is a winning one for your bank account. Number 7. Selling stocks in the early stages of a recession. Rich people love the stock market. They study its patterns and watch for the rise and fall of prices. They love to think and plan ahead in the market. Since the start of the outbreak in China, wealthy individuals took to the stock market to try and make a profit. They instantly started selling stocks that they knew would be affected by the virus. They shorted the market, and these short sellers made over $50 billion during the outbreak. Now we have two stories on how rich people have taken advantage of the stock market and their knowledge on price drops to earn huge amounts of money. First is the story of a billionaire named Bill Ackman. He turned $27 million into $2.6 billion because he expected that the virus outbreak would tank the markets. Another example of dumping these stocks come from the US Republican Senators Richard Burr, Kelly Loeffler, along with Democrat Dianne Feinstein. Collectively, this group of four dumped around $11 million in stock right before the market started crashing. They were able to do this weeks before the public was given any access to news about the virus outbreak. Although this may seem a bit shady in my eyes, it does illustrate the strategy of selling off stocks early on in a looming recession. Number 6. Buying stocks at discounts. On the flip side of number 7 is the next recession secret. After the initial sell-off and the stock market bottoming out, it is time for the very poised investors to begin buying huge volume of stock as large discounts. During the mass panic that a global pandemic causes, the rich try and find many new ways to become richer by acting during worldwide crisis. Similar to how an average citizen would panic buy groceries and household goods, rich individuals buy lots and lots of discounted stocks. A recession leads to a sort of sale for wealthy people. They see that the stock market is crashing, so they can buy tons of shares at incredibly low prices. Some have called this the Black Friday for rich people. Again, they know how to take advantage of a scary situation and exploit the failures of certain businesses for their own profit. When the stocks reach low prices, people tend to buy more of them. And when these companies get back on their feet, the stock prices rise in price dramatically. This allows for some insane profit for those who planned and followed the stock market's patterns. The wealthy look at traditionally strong companies they know will bounce back after the recession. This strategy, combined with number 7, can create massive wealth in a very short amount of time. Number 5. Low interest rates. The new economic recession means that not only are companies and businesses failing, but banks are also losing money. Banks are now trying their best to pick up new businesses by lowering their interest rates. By doing this, they are encouraging more people to take out loans, which means increased interest income. Recessions will require people to take out loans since money may be hard to come by. And by lowering their interest rates, they can be quite good deals for individuals with great credit score. Having good credit score can be important in cases like this. Rich people with a great history of borrowing money from banks can reap the rewards of this recession. Loans will now cost them little to no interest at all. These individuals can refinance large assets and decrease the amount they pay back with reduced interest rates. Knowing these strategies ahead of time can have you ready for the next recession. Number 4. Government bonds. Companies and businesses that are not struggling have been taking advantage of government bonds. Government bonds are a great way for the governments to borrow money from businesses and individuals. The return on investment is something that is sought after, and these bonds hold little to no risk at all. These listed benefits and more make these government bonds a great strategy during a recession. And in recessions, thriving businesses seem to be welcoming the opportunity to not only help, but make a bunch of money while doing so. Rich people that can afford to loan out money via these bonds do so and get paid a fixed interest rate. They are also attracted to these bonds because it's seen as a very safe investment. Unless the government completely collapses, these investors can rest assured that they will get their money plus the interest paid back to them. These bonds are also a way for the government to circulate money and keep the economic cycle running smoothly without having to devalue their currency. It's also a way for developed countries to slow down on printing money. Number 3. Owning instead of renting. Mentioned earlier was the fact that a recession is a wonderful time for wealthier individuals to buy real estate. This is due to the lower cost, lower demand, and low interest rates. This also leads to another way to take advantage of the market. Buy the property you are renting. Most people rent because it is non-committal and may seem cheaper. But in the long run, buying your property may save you a lot more and allow you to rent out and earn income from it yourself. Now that commercial and residential properties are at a low point, you may want to consider buying the studio apartment you are living in or the office space you are renting out. It is worth checking out. Number 2. Buying bankrupt companies. Some companies are able to buy thousands of companies with skilled employees, intellectual property, and even infrastructure for a fraction of their normal cost. How can they do this? By buying bankrupt companies. Big name companies keep an eye out for their competition to collapse, so they can soak them up and make more money. By doing this, they can expand their own business and add onto their bottom line for pennies on the dollar. Number 1. Leveraging equity. During a recession, it may seem obvious that people do not want to make large or unnecessary purchases. But some wealthier people may feel the need to do so since many price drops are occurring all around. This is seen in the purchasing of stocks and real estate. It is also seen in big companies that purchase other companies that have now gone bankrupt. By using the equity in currently owned assets, smart individuals and companies can leverage those assets with low-rate loans. The cash-out funds from these loans are then leveraged to take advantage of all the above listed items. This means that buying properties becomes a numbers game and requires smart decisions. But when it's all done correctly, the outcome can be highly beneficial. Click on one of these videos on your screen. See you there!